So I was reminded today as I was reviewing some content from a client, something that was drilled into us during our nursing program, during my professional training, was if you don't document, it didn't happen. If you don't document, it did not happen. And I just want to touch on this because I understand in the context of medical liability, the importance of documentation. But that same idea, concept is very pervasive in our overall thinking about our own experiences, right? It contributes to this idea that we need external validation from something in order for it to be true, when that really works against our own internal intuitive sense. You have internal wisdom. You have an intuitive knowing. There is something ingrained in you that knows truth, that knows the way forward, that understands, what needs to get done for life to unfold for you. And oftentimes we are disconnected to that intuition because of our socialization. And this type of thinking, if you don't document it, it did not happen. It's just one example, another example of how we have so many signs, so many procedures, so many concepts in our society that literally support this idea of there needs to be a external validation of a thing in order for us to agree that it happened. And that is not true for everything. So how can we look inward? How can we trust our inner voice? How can we begin to unlearn some of these ideas and concepts that something on the outside needs to be validated and we have to have witnesses in order for something to be true for us? Well, there are several steps, and I can go over them more deeply in the upcoming session, but it starts with literally taking notice and being aware. And so when that phrase came up, I immediately jumped on to talk to you about it because it stirred in me something that I'd already been healing from, right? And so with you, once different things come up and arise throughout your day-to-day life that kind of stir up something that feels kind of off, that feels kind of untrue, that seems like it's more nuanced than they are projecting to be, take notice, sit with it, ask questions, be curious. That is part of the process of building back your deep, deep connection with yourself, with your intuition, with your inner knower, with the wisdom that's available to you through stillness and silence.